Hello, family. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to have you guys back here to the channel. So, in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this serpentina bag. You could carry it as a waist bag, you could carry it as a purse, you could carry it as a shoulder bag with a strap, and then you could wear it with a chain. Anyone that suits your preference, but I'll be focusing more on how to make the design of the bag. Honestly, this is the first time I am making this bag, and I believe if I am making another one, I'm going to make it even better. But I like the way it turned out. The shape came out beautiful, and that is why I'm here to share this tutorial with you guys. So first, I didn't have an actual measurement in mind because I tried using measurements, but the thing didn't work out. So I decided to just use anyhow measurements, and at the end of the day, I would just you know reduce it to the measurement I want. So I'm using an A4 paper here for the pattern drafting. That place that you see I measured is half inches, and I'm going to go ahead and fold the paper into two, starting from that half inches line. I'm not cutting out the half inches. I'll tell you the reason why we are putting that half inches as we continue with the video. So as I fold it like this, as you can see, the half inches is showing. So I'm going to measure 1 inches upward from the open end. If I measure the 1 inches, then I'll just make a slant to the closed end, and I'll just go ahead and cut it off. So when I cut it off, this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and cut out another one like this. When I cut it out, then I'll go to the sewing machine and go and stitch it. I did have a pins here, that's why I decided to go to sewing machine and stitch it. So when I went to the sewing machine and stitch it, this is what it looked like. So you see the shape as it is coming out. So this is just me trying to bring out that half inches that I put on top. So I'm arranging it nicely. So as you can see, our half inches have come out. So the width is too much for me. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do now is to fold it into two like this equally. Then I'm going to remove the width that I want. So I want the total width of the bag to be 8 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out 4 inches. So I'll make my slant like this. I'll make my slant like this. Then I'll just this is just me trying to adjust it. So I realized that it was what's it called, it was bending, it was slanting. So what I did was I decided to make the top half inches more. So the bottom is 4 inches and the top is 4.5 inches, so that it will give me this shape like this, so that when I am sewing the side, I will get the exact shape that I wanted. Please, I just hope you understand what I am talking about. So after cutting, this is what it looks like. Then I'll just arrange it nicely again. So you see our shape of our bag is coming out. That sewn part is in the middle. So after doing this, I'm just going to go ahead and measure to confirm the measurements of the flap. So I am going to cut out the measurement of the flap. You know, I added it half inches, so it's going to give us 8.5 inches. So this is me just measuring the 8.5 inches from my pattern paper. Then I'll just go ahead and cut. So I will be adding extra half inches. That's the first measurement I'm going to be measuring for the flap. Then I'm going to be measuring 2 inches, which is going to be for the top of the bag. Then I want the overall flap to be 3.5 inches. So I'll measure all that out, then I'll connect the lines. I'll tell you why we are adding half inches to the body, one side of the body, and the flap as well. So after I connect the lines, I'll just fold my paper into two like this. Then I'll just go up by 1 inches from the open end like this. Then I'll just make my connection. I'll just make a curve. It's 1 inches. I went up by half inches before, but I decided to make it 1 inches. So it's 1 inches. I make my curve like this, then I'll just go ahead and cut it out like this. So after I cut it out, I would you know look at it to see whether it's aligned, and I see that yes, it is aligned. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to turn my pattern paper back to the initial way it was before I sewed it. So I'll just go ahead and use it to cut out two. So this is how it's going to be, and this is how the flap is going to be. Now the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is to repeat the process. So I am going to be measuring 1/4 of an inch. Is it 1/4 of an inch? No, quarter of an inch. Quarter of an inch on both leather, because I am going to be overlapping. I am using a thick leather here, so I would advise, if you want to make that bag, you use a double-sided thick leather, because the bag was overlapped. So I am just measuring my 1/4 inch. I'll measure it on this first body and I'll measure it on the second body. Then I'll just go ahead and use the markings as a guide to overlap the body of the bag. So thank you guys for tuning into the channel once again. I hope you are enjoying this tutorial, and I hope I am explanatory enough. Please drop your comments in the comment section, and also don't forget to subscribe if you're just tuning into the channel for the very first time, and also the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new tutorials. So after stitching, this is what it looks like. So I'll just bring the sewn part to the middle. You see our work here is our bag is already bringing out shape. Honestly, it was very simple at the end of the day. So now we are bringing out that our half inches. Now the reason why we're adding that half inches is because we'll be joining the flap to the body. So that's why we decide we have to add half inches to both the flap and the body of the bag. So I am removing my half inches now. I'll remove it on the flap, and I'll go ahead and remove it on the body as well. Then I will just do a double stitch. I'll stitch it twice. Stitch it first time and stitch it second time, so that it will give us that bold look. So guys, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you've learned something from this tutorial. So guys, after stitching, this is what it looks like. You see, I gave it double stitches. Then you just arrange your bag. You see that our bag has come together already. Now the next thing you're going to go ahead and do is to measure the side. Now when I measured the side, I got 6 inches in length. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the length to be 6 inches, and the width I want it to be 3 inches. I'm using a pattern paper here. So I'll just connect the lines and I'll go ahead and cut it out. So please just keep looking to see what I'm going to do on the side of the bag. Unlike other sides, I will just sew it like that. This one, I folded it into two. Then I went up by 2 inches. Then I make a curve. Did you see it? I made a curve like this. Then I cut it out. So when I cut it out, so when we fix it to the bag, this is how it will look like. The top will be big and the bottom will be small. So it will look like this. So I'll just go ahead and cut out 2 from the fabric, and then I would just start working on my d-rings. You know, it's a shoulder bag. You could decide to put an eyelet on the top of the bag, no problem. And you could decide to put a handle on the top of the bag, no problem, anything you choose to do. But I decided to put eyelets because it's a shoulder bag. Then I went ahead and stitched the sides to the sides. So you see our bag has come together already. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is to put our fastener. I decided to put two fastener. I wanted to put three fastener so that it will hold in place properly. So you could put one fastener, you could put two fastener, you could put three fastener, no problem. And the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do now is to just make a top stitch on the front panel, on this front side, so that it will give it that nice finishing. Then I'll file the edges and then put my edge coat. If you don't know what I mean by filing edges and putting an edge coat, I have a tutorial where I filed edges of the bag and I put an edge coat. I'm going to put the link in the description box here so that you'll be able to know what filing edges mean and putting an edge coat. So guys, you see our bag has come together already. Thank you guys for tuning into the channel once again. And if you learned something from this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and also say something nice in the comment section. Honestly, the bag was easier than I even thought. And I loved the way it came out, and I know you love how easy the bag is. Say something nice in the comment section. And if you are just tuning into the channel for the very first time, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post in new tutorials, because on this channel I have many more amazing tutorials to show you guys. Join the family. Let's go together. I even like the bag as a purse instead of a shoulder bag. See you guys in my next tutorial. Bye.